The Catherine Pooler Designs Ghostly Dozen Bundle has everything you need to make the cutest Halloween cards, little treat box, and more. Hi everyone, I'm Rebecca Keppel. In today's video, I'll be sharing that Ghostly Dozen bundle. And the one thing about Halloween that sometimes I forget when we're busy making cards with ghosts and monsters and all of that is that Halloween is a delicious holiday. So this collection kind of combines both of those ideas together. Let's take a look at some of the items that I'll be working with today. First up, let's take a look at the Halloween half dozen stamps and dies. This is what I mean about combining the ideas of Halloween figures with treats. This stamp set creates the cutest Halloween donuts that you've ever seen. So there's a jack-o'-lantern, a mummy, a little vampire. There's all kinds of ways to decorate these donuts, a spider web too. I mean, it's just so fun. So you can cut the donut out as a whole donut or with the hole in the center. And there are also two sentiments, and you can cut both of those out as well. This is the Ghostly Greetings stamps and dies. These are a set of fun Halloween greetings. There's things like go grab your broom, oh hey boo, just too cutesy to be scary. I mean, just a fun sentiment stamp set. And you can get the dies so that you can cut these all out. And I love doing that because then you can use dimension behind them. This is the Peeka-Boo treat box die. There's a die for the window and then there's one die for the treat box. Everything is scored so that you can just fold it up into a little box, and I'll show you how to do it. This is the I Want Candy stencils, and it's a layering stencil set of 3 different stencils, and I'll share what they create in this video as well. Next, we have the Hocus Pocus 6x6 pattern paper. I adore Catherine Pooler Designs pattern paper. I think it's so much fun. The designs are fun. The colors are fun. I love the addition of pink in Halloween. You probably have already heard me say that. And they have that here with a really fun orange and purple as well as that kind of lime green. So this is a great set of pattern papers. You get 3 of each design. Some are candy, some are argyle. It's just a really fun mix of pattern papers. And then we have the New Orleans sequin mix. This is a sort of lime green with white sequin mix, and then there are some clear as well as some black bats in there. So I just wanted to remind you that the 6x6 pattern paper always lists the inks that it goes along well with. So we have Orange Twist, Lime Ricky, then there is Grape Crush, which is that really deep purple, Pucker Up, Sweetheart, which is a really favorite pink of mine, and Midnight, which is black. So 6 colors that easily go well with that pattern paper. I pulled out all those inks so that I would stamp all of my donuts in those color combinations because I want to be able to easily coordinate my stamps with my stamping with my pattern papers. So you can see I'm stamping a bunch of the donuts here. I stamped the jack-o'-lantern donut with the jack-o'-lantern face. I stamped the spider web. I have just a ring of pink and a frosting dripping. I have the mummy in pink and little eyes peeking out. So there are a bunch of little accessories as well. Some of them stamp onto the donuts themselves, and some of them can be cut out individually. So I have those little stars, there's little bat wings, those can be cut out, but the sprinkles you'll put directly onto the donut. And then you just have fun adhering them together. These are so cute. You can mix and match to your heart's content and make whatever kind of donut you like, think is cute, and want to include on your projects. I love the little wings that adhere to the back of the vampire. I lost one there, but I will find it eventually. Now let's use the new supplies to make some projects. If you've seen other Catherine Pooler videos of mine where I use the pattern paper, you know I like to do this technique where you take the pattern paper and cut a chunk that is shorter than the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I've actually cut that whole panel down to 4 by 5 1/4. And that gives you a little white space at the top to add some images. So I'll just put the sentiment popped up on some foam squares on the pattern paper itself. I love this pattern paper. It's so cute. I want a sweater with that pattern paper and the colors and everything for Halloween. I think that would be so adorable. Here are two of the donuts, the mummy and the jack-o'-lantern. I've individually cut out the bats and popped those up as well. These cards come together really quickly once you have all the stamping and die cutting done. So just add pattern paper and you are good to go. Next up, let's take a look at how the I Want Candy stencils come out when you ink blend them. Now, I am using the Sweetheart ink first for this layer of the stencil. I'm using one color per stencil. Because the images are so tiny, I think it would be tedious to go in and ink them individually with small brushes, but you could absolutely do that if you want to. I thought it would look just as cute and it would almost like create your own pattern paper. So you can create this background with these stencils and a couple of colors of inks, and then you can change it. For the next card, you can do a different combination of inks. So here I did the orange, the purple, and the pink, but you could do the green and black. It would just, no matter what you do, I think that's going to be really cute with those little candies. I did cut one of the pieces of pattern paper into a tag, and I'll list the tag dies that I used there also from Catherine Pooler in the YouTube description box below the video. I tied it with a bunch of black and white twine, and I'll add the one donut that doesn't have a face on it. It's just the pink and sprinkles and frosting donut, and it says, "Have a sweet Halloween." So there's lots of different greetings that you can use. They have a couple in the donut set, and then there are some in that ghostly greetings as well. For a really simple shaker, I've cut out the circle that comes with the treat box die. So it's a little window for the treat box, but I'm using it as a shaker window. I've cut it out of a piece of pattern paper and then I adhered some clear acetate to the back. I put some foam lines around that open window and just make sure that those lines touch each other. And if they don't, add another piece so that they are completely touching so the shaker goodies don't slide out the side. Then I'll add that new shaker mix, the New Orleans, and place a piece of cardstock right on top of the open adhesive. Flip it over and we have a really cute shaker. I love this pattern paper. I'm so glad I have two more pieces of it. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I really love the look of that pattern paper. And Hope Your Day is Spooktacular is another sentiment from the Ghostly Greetings stamp set. I love those little bats shaking around. As for the treat box, I cut it out of some orange cardstock here, and I'm using the window die on the side that has that little tab that's open. So you can see that it's on the side where the tab sticks up. So that's the one you want to cut the window out of. Next, I go over all the score lines and I use a bone folder to reinforce all the scores. So you can see that there are tabs and there are sides that have score lines. And I'm just one by one going through making sure that all of the folds are going to be really simple to fold once I am ready to do that. So even in the back of the box here, there's a couple of folds so that it will stand up like the back of a box. Now, this is going to end up looking like a tiny little donut box, which I think is just so ingenious. It's just such a great idea for a little treat box for Halloween, especially if you add some of the stamps and dies from the Ghostly Dozen on the treat box itself. But again, this is me just taking my time going through all of those score lines, tabs, folds, everything to make sure that when I go to fold up the box, everything's going to be really easy to fold and it's not going to fold off the line. That's the last thing that you want because that will make your box not straight, basically. So you want to stay on those score lines and just make sure everything folds. There is a little tab at the back. I don't end up using it, but there's a little hole in it so you could kind of hang it like a little decoration or tag even from a present. Next, I'll take the inside of the treat box and I'll add some liquid adhesive around that circle window that was cut out and place a small piece of acetate right on top. So that's going to create in the lid of the box a little window where you can see inside the box. Now, here are a couple of little tabs that will fold to the top lid. So you can see you fold them in and then you adhere the lid to those tabs. And then to create the rest of the lid, there are 2 more tabs at the other side. So I will fold those in, add a little liquid adhesive, and then there are little tabs that fold down to catch the part that you've already folded in. And that will make sure that this doesn't come apart. So I really hold and squeeze those tight until all of the adhesive is dry. Then you can just fold up the box. So the sides come in and fold in, and then there's a tab and a little line that's cut, and you just slip the tab into that line and it all folds up perfectly. Is that not the cutest thing you have ever seen? It's so easy to put together. If I can do it, you all definitely can do it, because I struggle with things like that visually, trying to figure out how things go together. This was so easy. Then I added a couple, the donut and a trick or treat sentiment on the outside and a couple of stars that I die cut. And I noticed that the little fun size Hershey bars, you can actually fit 2 in this box. So it's an extra special treat with 2 little Hershey bars inside. They fit perfectly. There's other things you could fit, like a Reese's peanut butter cup will fit in there, and some of those square chocolates will fit in there as well. But I love those little fun size Hershey bars. It's like just enough chocolate to get me through the day. And so now I have a couple stashed around here in some little Halloween treat boxes, and they make me smile. So I definitely recommend trying out this treat box. It is so much fun to create with. I don't know about you, but I adore this bundle. I think it's so much fun and I loved creating with it. But I really want to hear what your thoughts are. Let me know in the comments below. You can find links to all of the supplies that I used today down in the YouTube description box below the video. As always, I want to thank you so much for stopping by and spending time with me today. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you again soon. That's better. The pauses were unnecessary. They were really just weird. Okay.